Welcome to the State of Hockey. As today, we're in St. Paul, Minnesota, the capital of the North Star State, and we're checking out the Minnesota Wild at the Xcel Energy Center. And the fantastic energy and atmosphere this stadium brings really shows you why Minnesota is the state of hockey. And of course, this 36th Stadium Review episode is brought to you in partnership with Pull Tab Sports. Based out of Minnesota, they have great content on sports and culture across the Midwest. And be sure to check out their podcast, Wild on 7th, talking all things Minnesota Wild. So head on over to pulltabsports.com and check it out. The Xcel Energy Center opened its doors in 2000 in St. Paul to welcome the NHL back to Minnesota after the Minnesota North Stars left in 1993 for Dallas. And this made the Twin Cities one of the few metro areas in the United States that has both NHL and NBA teams, but they each play in their own stadium, as there's actually 10 arenas that are shared between NHL and NBA teams of the same city. And speaking of which, for the last review, I was in the Target Center, home of the Minnesota Timberwolves. So after this video, be sure to go check that one out as well. The arena previously hosted the Minnesota Swarm of the National Lacrosse League from 2005 to 2015, and is also the host of the State High School Hockey Tournament, and subsequently the All Hockey Hair Team, which is actually once again put on by Pull Tab Sports. If you haven't checked out this year's video yet, then what are you doing?
It's hockey time. Let's go.
I absolutely love the fact that the night that I went to the game, it was a proper northern winter, cold and snow everywhere. Absolutely perfect. There's actually a lot of construction going on currently right across from the arena, as it looks like they're building some new apartments and hotels, but it does look like maybe it has a little bit of a restaurant front to it.
More hotels and apartments. Where are the bars? Where's the party at? Maybe down there some more? I don't know, let me find it though.
I really love the exterior of the building here on the west side, as it has both the large letters, the Xcel Energy Center, all lit up, and also this beautiful curved glass window is absolutely fantastic, as you have a great view into the concourse and all the different levels of the stadium. Heading around towards the south side of the building, there's actually a large parking garage just south of the arena with a nice skywalk that goes over the road to the stadium so you can stay nice and warm. So let's head inside and check it out. Just from this entrance atrium area, I could tell that the concourse of this arena was going to have some awesome aesthetics to it. And how about the giant sign over the main entrance? Welcome to the state of hockey. Now while the concourse was awfully crowded, it was extremely clean and modern. The whole outside wall of the concourse was really done up like a woodsy cabin style. With the angled roofs and the wood beams, it really gave you a good authentic Minnesota vibe. And scattered around the concourse, there were so many different elements, artifacts, and jerseys highlighting the history of Minnesota as the state of hockey, highlighting some of the different high school, college, and professional teams that have been in the state. I love this tribute to the 1980 Miracle on Ice team. But my favorite part of it had to once again be that west side concourse. That's a big arching open area. Up above, you can see the concourse for the suites levels, but lining that is the Minnesota High School jersey wall, showing off all the high schools within the state. Speaking of jerseys, I had to make my way to the team store, which was called the Hockey Lodge, and once again had a very cool cabin aesthetic to it. I had to talk myself down off the ledge and resist buying a new jersey. But I stuck with tradition and just picked up a puck. Now while on the concourse, of course we had to check out some of their food options, and I absolutely love the layout and the design of some of the different food places. I went with the Paul Bunyan dog, which was absolutely fantastic. A hot dog smothered with chili, onions, and cheese. And a little bit later on in the game, I got chicken fingers and fries with a chocolate malt. And a lot of this food was actually really affordable by stadium standards. On my favorite West Side concourse, they had this giant pink Whitney bar with a ton of bottles lining the back of the bar. And if you know me, you know I'm a big Pink Whitney fan. But none of their drinks actually had any Pink Whitney in it, so I was a little confused. Now let's head into the seating bowl itself of the arena, which seats 17,954 for ice hockey. And this bowl made the arena itself feel absolutely huge, with 3 distinct seating levels and a 4th private seating section just above the lowest seating bowl. And let me tell you what, when this place got packed, wow, it just looked absolutely incredible, full of people, as the game I was at was a complete sellout, and it seems like most of the Wild games these days are sellouts. Starting with the bottom bowl, which wraps around the entire arena, I found it kind of interesting that there's actually no seats right behind either one of the nets. As for my view here, the far side is where the Zamboni ramp is, and on the near side they actually have a little bit of a private section for people with glass seats behind that net, which I kind of poked my head in after the game. Right above the lowest bowl, they have a standing room only section, which has these numbered countertops where you get an actual ticket to the number, and they got a cute little hook for you underneath to hang your jacket. And just from looking here, this is a fantastic view of the arena, especially for the price of a standing room only ticket. Right above that was a layer of private suites and clubs that wraps around the entire arena. The next 2 levels up are only on the sides and the ends of the stadium, as the 4 corners have what they call a crow's nest that breaks up the seating chart, and at the top have some different platforms and stages that are used throughout the game, including one that's used by an organist and another one that's actually a big foghorn that lights up when they score. Something very interesting that I noticed about the highest level behind the nets is that they have support rails between every row of seats to keep people from tumbling over their seats onto the next row below them, but they don't have this along the sides of the arena, just on the end sections. And there's also some more standing room only counters on top of the 2nd and 3rd decks, as all 3 bowls have their walkway entrances at the top of the sections, which allows the space and the visibility from the concourse to be able to have these standing room areas. And way up at the top of the rink, you have all the press boxes. And what I can tell from my seat and from walking around a little bit is that there's really not any bad seats in the arena, as there's great sight views all throughout the building. Before the pre-game videos started on the board, the smoke was billowing out of the top of the arena, which provided a really cool aesthetic. And something that I've never seen before is that the stadium was completely full. Everyone was in their seat to see the opening video, about 10 to 15 minutes before the puck actually dropped. And I've never seen that before at any sporting event. But the pregame hype video really hammered home Minnesota being the state of hockey, as it's rooted in the culture of the state through all age groups and levels. And then they had a pretty insane light and laser show lighting up the whole rink. Wow, that guy has a freaking pair of lungs on him. Kinda sounds like a Central American soccer announcer. And in preparation for the next day Minnesota Vikings playoff game, they had a former Vikings player doing the traditional "let's play hockey," and he understood the assignment. This guy brought all the hype.
I love Minnesota. Please, I need this energy all game. So say it with me. Let's play hockey!
There was such great energy and atmosphere going around the entire arena right from the start of the game, as the crowd was really into it and super knowledgeable about the sport of hockey, which you don't get in all NHL markets these days. Well, maybe not that guy. I was a really big fan of this little gag going on the screen where you had to cheer to make the mascot Nordy jump over different objects in the city. And speaking of the scoreboard, I absolutely love the subtle design of the trees going around the base of it. But the mascot was actually super involved throughout the game, leading a bunch of chants and getting everyone hyped up. But hey, maybe it worked some, because the Wild got on the board first. And I must say, their goal song is an absolute blast, as the classic song Shout really just brings the party atmosphere to the game. And the Wild quickly put another one up on the board to make it 2-0, and the barn was absolutely buzzing. And I'm excited to announce a little bit of a new segment in these stadium reviews, because I always spot fans in the crowd that are absolutely so fun to watch. And so these guys here representing the state of hockey get my Fan of the Game award. And hey, might as well give them out to all 4 of them. Keep bringing the atmosphere, boys. With the Wild having a 2-0 lead after the first period, I absolutely love seeing the Zambonis decorated like Hy-Vee shopping carts.
Let's bring the energy!
There's still 5 minutes in the game to go right here, and with a 1-goal game, the announcer really got everyone in the whole building hyped, and everyone was on their feet cheering on the boys for the final 5 minutes of the game. And all that energy was able to secure the 2-1 win for the Wild over the Arizona Coyotes. I'm a massive fan of when teams salute the fans, and the Wild stayed around to do this after the game, which I really appreciated. Overall, I really understand why Minnesota is the state of hockey, as the atmosphere here was second to none that I've experienced in the NHL. I mean, everyone in their seats 15 minutes before the game just to watch the pregame hype video, that's pretty unheard of. And throughout the game, the chanting, the cheering, the knowledge of the sport, and the positive energy that the crowd brought was absolutely fantastic. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think of the Wild Stadium in the comments below. And if you want to suggest any stadiums for me to go to, be sure to click the link below that has my stadium suggestion form, as you can let me know what stadium you want to see me visit and give me some pointers while I'm there. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you very soon for another stadium review episode. Thanks, bye.